What up, peeps? MTG Mancini here. I'm coming at you with top 5 modern cards coming out of Spider-Man. I know Spider-Man wasn't well received. When I went to my pre-release, there was not a lot of people. It was the Sunday. But you know what? There are a lot of cards that I feel like people aren't thinking in the way that I am. And I just think that would be like some great deck building ideas for modern. Let's get into them on card number 5, Strength of Will. It's a 2-mana instant that gives a target creature indestructibility. And whenever this creature deals damage, not only combat damage, but other damage too, put that many 1/1 counters on it. This, in conjunction with Hardened Scales and Walking Ballista, is an instant kill. And I know it's a 3-card combo, but it has redundancy with Loading Zone, which is just the copies 4 through 8 of Hardened Scales. And having an instant win that also is a protection spell, so you don't even have to put it in the main board, you put it in the sideboard, is great. And Mox Opal just got unbanned in Modern, so this deck is poised to come back. I don't know what the Hardened Scale players are doing, but maybe we'll check out the Discord and see how they're going. At number 4, we got Carnage Crimson Chaos, a 4-mana 4/3 with Trample. Not a great rate, but if you discard him, you do have Mayhem, 1 black and 1 red. So being able to cast this 4/3 with Trample for 2 mana seems great. But also it includes, whenever Carnage enters, return target creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains. This creature attacks each combat if able, and when this creature deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice it. It might not seem very powerful because you have to sacrifice the creature if it deals combat damage and it has to attack. But if you're playing something like Lightning Skelemental that's getting sacrificed at end of turn anyways, or Rhea that's literally you can tap to do its effect, so it doesn't have to enter combat. Those are the things that I'm thinking about when casting Carnage. And like I said, they just unbanned a bunch of cards like Mox Opal and Faithless Looting. So this card might have a great spot in Modern currently. Number 3 on my list is Parker Luck, a 3-mana enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, 2 target players each reveal the top of their library. They each lose life equal to the mana value of the card revealed by the other player. Then they each put the card they reveal into their hand. Lots of words for a 3-mana combo deck. I saw Inspiring Spite talk about Witch's Cottage and Troll of Khazad-dûm and Shadow of Mortality, but I thought of the card Scheming Symmetry. 1 black sorcery. Choose up to 2 target players. Each of them searches their library for a card and then shuffles that library and puts that card on top of it. That in combination with Parker Luck, you get to choose something that's very high mana cost to deal your opponent a lot of damage. Hopefully this means that you're going to win on the spot there, and it loses the symmetry of Scheming Symmetry. On number 2 on my list, I got Lady Octopus, a 1-mana legendary creature that already sparks this idea that you can play an affinity list with your Mox Amber and your Mox Opals, because you have 3 different legendary creatures that makes your Mox Opals and your Mox Ambers work, which is exactly what you want to do. But this creature also has, whenever you draw your first or second card each turn, put an Ingenuity counter on Lady Octopus. You may then tap Lady Octopus and you may cast an artifact spell from your hand with a mana value less than or equal to those counters without paying its mana cost. Everybody's been saying Lotus Bloom. Lotus Bloom, Lotus Bloom, Lotus Bloom. This is basically being able to play Black Lotus in Modern. This is great. I was also thinking of being able to Street Wraith on your opponent's turn so you can get more counters on it early. Also, Mishra's Bauble works with this whole affinity theme, and also drawing additional cards on your turn and your opponent's turn. I think that someone out there has this idea of being able to play Lady Octopus on first turn, and then second turn, maybe even casting something that's 4 or more mana costs with just drawing a bunch of cards. This is one that the longer this card is out, the longer this idea of these 1 mana blue artifact enabling, Mox enabling creatures, the better these decks get. Last on my list is this flavor win of Peter Parker's Camera, a 1 mana artifact. This artifact enters with 3 film counters on it. You may pay 2 mana and remove a film counter to copy a target activated or triggered ability you control. You may use new targets for the copy. There's so many activated abilities within Modern that there's you can make a whole video of what Peter Parker's Camera can do that might make Modern a Modern deck. First thing you have to think about is obviously Urza Saga, being able to have multiple copies of this in your deck because it's tutorable with Urza Saga is already so big. I was also thinking that this is great in that Boros deck that everybody hates because they have so many triggers, and this is not even as many triggers that they do have that I can put on the screen. I just was thinking Johnny being able to make an additional creature while it comes into play, and then when it flips, you can use it to do Johnny's ability, flips abilities more often. Also, within the deck of Boros, you have fetch lands, and just being able to pay 2 mana, fetch, and get 2 lands out of your deck is already so good. I think this is the win because it's a colorless card that can be utilized in so many decks, so we don't know what the ceiling of this card can be. There can be a deck out there that we don't know about, and this could just literally blow it out of the waters because of the Urza Saga, Peter Parker's Camera having 8 copies in your deck is just so crazy. All right, those are my top 5 Modern cards coming out of Spider-Man. You tell me yours. If ours correlate, tell me what you think of the cards that I said, and maybe you have more ideas for them. If you don't like my choices, please tell me yours in the comment. Peace and love.